Hey, we got some tickets to give away to the movie Boyhood, which is getting a lot of attention. The screening is this Wednesday, and we're going to pick a name from the Facebook friends that we have. You're our friend, we'll be your friend. And if we're your friend, you can be our friend on Facebook. Just friend us, and then we're going to pick a winner from that, and then you can get the tickets. So there, we'll do that a little bit later on. We'll announce the winner. Scott Sherman, ladies and gentlemen, who is the KTRS legal analyst, joins us on Fridays to talk a little law, who knows what we get into from time to time. But good morning this morning, Mr. Scott Sherman.
How are you, sir?
A lot of people don't recognize you. You're wearing a tie and a white shirt.
No one would.
We'd like to see some ID to prove that we don't know what you did with Scott Sherman. But are you wearing your Michigan sweatshirt underneath that suit and tie?
Yes.
I hope. Okay.
Yes, I am.
All right, good. So you're like Superman. If in a moment's notice you can find a phone booth, rip off that suit, and your Michigan sweatshirt is underneath there.
I agree with that.
All
Yes,
right.
that sounds good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
You rested, sleeping much better these days?
Yes, I could tell. Kyle's still in here, and that look of, oh my God, I can't believe I got 2 hours of sleep. I recognize that look, and I don't miss it.
There you go.
But I wish him the best.
All right, good. Let's get to it. What's your topic? What's your law topic of the day today?
Well, apparently the state of Missouri likes the Constitution. In fact, that not only that, but they like the Riley case, which came out of the United States Supreme Court. That's the one about the police officers fumbling around in your cell phone without a warrant, meaning that's off limits. They like that one so much that they want to have a referendum on August the 5th for a proposed amendment to the state constitution to expand the electronic communication, and other things that we consider private, keep that away from police officers. So basically what they're doing is trying to codify or put in the United States Constitution the principles of the Riley decision.
Okay, so go back for a second. The Riley decision recently, the Supreme Court ruled that police officers cannot rummage through your phone when you're stopped.
9-zip. So it's called a search incident to arrest. If you're detained, then they like to fumble around and look through your car and look through all this kind of stuff.
And if there is a suspicion of something, they're allowed to look in the car, right?
Not even for that. That's a different exception to the warrant requirement. This is just if you are detained and not free to go. The idea was back in the 60s, and this was in somebody's house, that within a zone of control of that person being detained, there might be stuff that would be a danger to the police officer. Then they took that and started just searching everybody's house and going through their purses and wallets and just looking for stuff without a warrant. It's very inconvenient for bad cops to go out and get a warrant. So what they like to do is detain somebody, put handcuffs on them, and then start searching around. And as the United States Supreme Court said, doing that in a cell phone, which is tantamount now to our mobile office, that's off limits. Can't do that.
Okay, so police officers cannot do it. Can current or past girlfriends go on your phone and find things that will be harmful to the relationship?
Can they? They do. And usually then they become past girlfriends. The current ones, first of all, the past ones don't care, and the current ones become past.
But this is important.
Yes.
And this is another reason why I'm single. So if a current girl that I'm dating gets a hold of my cell phone and looks at it and finds something that is illegal,
she
if
doesn't like,
you will, right? And then she brings that up to me. Can I invoke the Riley rule that the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that you are not allowed to look at my cell phone? Therefore, the fruits of that search are thrown out of this argument?
Yes, and then she will invoke the Millhaven corollary, which is the other side of the bed will be very cold for quite a while.
I don't know.
Not vacant.
I think we've solved the girlfriend rummaging through the Facebook and Twitter lines.
Yes, here's my rule on that. Encrypt.
Encrypt. So if your current girlfriend finds pictures,
never.
This is just hypothetically speaking.
Not mine.
This is. Let's just say hypothetically, a girl you're dating, or a girl one person's dating, grabs your cell phone, looks for dirty pictures, finds dirty pictures of another girl. That is admissible.
That's
in the breakup court.
That's a complete violation of your privacy and usually the end of your relationship.
The Supreme Court justices didn't take up that issue, did they?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg probably thought about that when she issued.
Was it the Supreme Court? Were you telling me this, that none of them have cell phones?
No, they do.
Or none of them have email?
Justice Breyer doesn't know how to get into it. He can't get into his phone. I don't know if he was doing comedy that day, but I believe that at about 70, he probably can't get into his smartphone.
And these are the people who are deciding on our internet privacy and everything else.
Yeah, but 9-0 on the good guy's side.
Right.
I like that.
Okay,
one.
so that's the rule.
Go.
So what is? How does Missouri want to expand this?
Well, they want Amendment 9 to the state constitution,
and this is what we're voting on.
Yes,
right.
And I think that this is a good thing. I mean, a constitutional amendment is usually dangerous because you get stupid ones like the gay marriage ban one that Missouri and all these other states had been passing
that are being struck down as unconstitutional.
100% struck down. I mean, none of them are surviving. I don't care what state you live in, and it gets a little bit strange when they start wanting to amend the Constitution. I don't know that this is necessary.
But what does this one say? This one just gives us the same protection the Supreme Court just gave us?
It shall amend the Missouri Constitution so that people shall be secure in their electronic communications and data from unreasonable searches and seizures, as they are now likewise secure in their persons, homes, papers, and effects. Now, here's what I say. We already have a Fourth Amendment that's been codified into the Missouri Constitution.
Right.
We don't need extra stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea, but really what they're doing is saying, yeah, me too. The awesome Riley court. Yeah, awesome. Here's what needs to happen. Police officers, and especially the chiefs of police in the departments that they run, need to tell their officers and instruct them that the most important thing about their job is not sort of bullying people into confessions, but actually the Constitution. So you don't just grab somebody's cell phone and start fumbling through it because you can and because they're handcuffed and because they say, well, if you don't like it, too bad. It's because the U.S. Supreme Court said so.
But I thought we
don't need the amendment. We need the cops to do their job, which is to be the foot soldiers of the Constitution, defend the rights, and play by the rules.
When did the Missouri House and Senate become a bunch of weak-kneed liberals giving all these rights to the citizens? What about the police officers who are trying to fight the bad guys and find all the terrorists?
Depends on who they're speaking to. You know, the politicians love to give speeches in front of law enforcement and tell them what a great job they're doing all the time and how they have the most dangerous job in the world.
Right.
And every day they put their lives on the line. And maybe, but I think working in an oil rig. Well, I mean, if you're working, in an oil rig, or you're working, 80 stories up on a skyscraper, that's a lot more dangerous than being a beat cop in, Ladue or something. Sometime now they're going to get mad and say we have this and this happens to our officers. But by and large, it's not nearly as dangerous as the politicians give speeches about. It's an important job. So let's take the dangerous part out of it.
Yeah, but
it's important.
But hold on a second. When you're washing a window on the 84th floor, no one's trying to shoot you.
Yeah, I know.
And I know you've been along ride-alongs, and I've been on ride-alongs, and all you have to do is go on one ride-along where the cop leaves you in the car, and you're like, where are you going?
Yes.
You're not going anywhere. You're staying right by my side.
It's a dangerous job. But it's hyperbole a lot of times for the politicians. I'm really criticizing the politicians because what they do is they'll pander to whoever it is they think they can get votes for. So now they have a Supreme Court decision. Oh, Justice Scalia says it's not okay to look through the cell phone. All of a sudden, once they get Thomas and Scalia and Alito and Chief Justice, what's his name?
You can say Roberts.
Roberts. Once they get him to say it's off limits, then all of a sudden it's off limits. It's cowardly because it's easy. Nobody will take on what they think is their constituency group until it's safe. So this amendment, or whoever sponsored this, or the politicians that start screaming about it now, there's no courage in that.
I thought these politicians were all about torturing people and just, doing all that stuff to find out where the bad guys are. Now the cops can't do that?
Yeah.
Now they can't even look through their cell phones?
Well, right. Yeah, Gitmo, waterboarding, whatever it is that is popular, therefore, because there's votes there and it's safe. but it's very
so
safe.
we can waterboard some, and we can't look through cell phones of others.
That's right.
Okay.
They like to do
Just
that.
as long as I got that straight. All
But
right.
the most important thing is that the Constitution is not there to get arrests. It's not there to get convictions. It's there to protect people from overzealous police work, and that's my point. It's an
Who
important.
protects us from the overzealous politician?
The ballot box. It does a horrible job.
All
by
right.
the way.
Stay right there.
Yeah.
I got a story for you. It's going to knock your socks off.
Oh, my socks are ready.
Stay right there. Your Michigan socks. Your Michigan hoodies ready too.
My Michigan under.
9:20 here, Big 550 K.